Hello everyone, today we are going to go through Goldar's combos. The video is going to be broken down into two main parts. The first part, I'm going to be explaining the major components of Goldar's combos and where people can get stuck, and then the second half should just be all the combos. So if you just want to see those combos, just feel free to use the chapter feature in YouTube to skip to those. Let's get started. So one of the first parts of the combo that can cause some trouble is the 4S into 9JL, which is this. And what's important for this part of the combo is that you need to hold onto up forward, and as soon as you leave the floor, you press L. So again, it should look like this: I'm holding onto up forward, and as soon as I leave the floor, I press L. If you don't do this, then later on the JH in the combo can completely miss, which obviously is bad for us. So we want to try and avoid doing that if possible. So the second part of the combo I want to draw attention to is the JH. Now, what you want to do is when you're in the combo, you want to leave it as late as possible. That allows us to, when we land, to microwalk half a step forward. So what I mean is we're going to move Goldar forward, but we're not going to move further than like his legs crossing over. And it should look like this. Do you see that? So I walk very slightly forward and then hit 5M. Now, if you hold on to it, you're going to get 6M naturally. So what we can do is we're going to let go, hit 5M. And the reason for this is that when we get towards the corner, if we don't do it, we can end up a little bit far away for the 4M. So by walking half a step, we always guarantee that we're close enough for that 4M. And the last part I want to draw attention to is the 5M, 5MH. Now, when you do the 5M, I find it very useful if you let them drop, so you don't try and get the 5MH as quick as possible. You let them drop in front of Goldar, just like this. And it's just a little bit more predictable when you go into the 5S, 6S. If you try and do the 5M, 5MH really quickly, you can find that the 6S, Goldar can sometimes go underneath them, especially with the lightweight characters such as all the female characters and Eric. It is worth noting that if you start the combo with a jump button, that when you get to the 5M, 5MH, you must shorten it to 5MH because otherwise they will flip out. When we get to the end of the juggle limit combo, you'll see that I finish with a 5L reset. Now this can either be the 5L reset into either Goldar's mix or an unblockable, which I highly recommend if it's available, but it can also be a 4M launcher, which can lead into Goldar's post-juggle combo. And that post-juggle combo can change based on the amount of meter you have, what assists are available to you, as well as how much health your opponent is on, because that dictates on how many resources you need to use in order to kill your opponent. You see, Goldar is a character that scales very well with resources in his post-juggle limit combo, and in fact that's probably where most of his damage comes from. So I'm going to quickly go through the enders, the different variations of his post-juggle limit combo, and for the unblockable, I would recommend you watch my video where I go through on how to do the unblockable resets. So the first one we're going to go through is the assist combo extensions, which look like this. So 5S, 6S, 6M plus assist, 4S, 5S, 6S, 6M plus assist, and then once again. And if you need to, use meter to finish them off. So there's two major parts of this, which I'm sure you've noticed, and the first is the 5S, to pick them up off the floor, and the second one is the 6M with the assist. So to go through the 5S first, the way that it works is when Goldar is roughly here, so his foot's kind of inside that square on the floor, the 5S, both of the explosions hit, which allows you to pick up the opponent straight up off the floor, which means whenever you do a 4S in the corner, and you've already knocked them off the floor, you can get a 5S, 6S. And the second part is the 6M plus assist. Now, to note that the assist call timing is going to change depending on what assists that you have. However, for me, it's quite easy with Cat and Gia. I basically call 6M and assist at the same time. But you may find you have to call the assist earlier, or you have to call the assist afterwards. It really depends on the assist, so you have to play with the timing yourself. But it looks like this. So 5S, 6S, 6M plus assist, and then we're just going to loop around for as many assists we have, every single one adding loads of damage, and then we can finish your opponent off with any remaining health that they have. So one of the other things that Goldar can do in the post-juggle limit is spend his meter. So you have the option of super. Anytime you've done 5S success, you can just go straight into super. One of the other things you can do is the caret EX, which is that there. So the way that the caret EX works is that when you press 5S, you can do 6S off of it. But what you can't do is you can't actually just do EX. You can see I'm pressing, nothing happens. However, we know that 5S success works. And the way that caret cancels work is that instead of getting the 6S, I'm going to press 6S and then quickly press L, and I'm going to hold all 3 buttons. And what should happen, as you can see there, is I get the EX instead. And this allows Goldar to balance damage versus the meter he has available and how much HP the opponent has left. So it will take a little bit of practice, but you'll be able to work out a mix between meter and assist extensions in order to kill the opponent. So the last option that Goldar has, especially when he doesn't have any assists and he doesn't have enough meter to kill, is the jab reset. Now, if you have an assist, the jab reset into the unblockable is the optimal way of playing this. However, we're going to assume at this very moment in time that Goldar is alone. There are no assists available, he doesn't have the meter to kill. So from here, he has 2L as an option, so that's a low. He also has a meaty throw. And you also have 6M, which can link into a 5L. So I'm just going to give you an example of each, and also note that with these, Goldar can also plink dash to the other side off of that reset. Now with all of that, you should be able to have a good understanding of the Goldar combos I'm about to show. One detail I did forget to mention, however, is that after the OTG, use any... If you have one remaining launcher, when you do the 4M, do a second one. It's free damage. If you don't need it for your assist extensions, then just use it then.
You